Hope has finally arrived, the moment we have all been waiting for, or dreading depending on your expectations. My expectations were high. After all, this movie will kickstart the new DC Cinematic Universe. We need a strong start, a push in the right direction, something only the Man of Steel can do. I went into this movie with fairly high expectations. By the time this review comes out, I would have seen this movie twice. So I got a pretty good idea on what this movie is about. Well, the $1,000,000 question, is this movie worth the hype? Is this movie as good as people say it is? Well, the answer is yes. This movie delivered in every way possible. Every shot was like it was torn out of a comic book. This is the best possible start to the DC Cinematic Universe. I will be talking about spoilers. If you have not seen this movie, watch it before watching this section. You have been warned. The story was simple but effective. Every character has weight, purpose, and impact to the story. James Gunn did well to structure the movie in a way that is easy to follow and comprehend. A great balance of humor, action, and drama. Superman's story in this movie was a journey that he encountered. The purpose of the story is Superman had used this message that his Kryptonian parents had sent to him as a child in order for him to do what he does. But the message was incomplete. Lex, however, managed to break into the fortress and recover this message. The major plot twist was that in the second half of the message, it stated that his parents wanted him to rule over Earth with his power. This message is vital to the story. He also gets rejected by Earth out of fear as a result of this. But towards the end, he proves everybody in Metropolis wrong, and at the end, he ends up watching the memories of his Earth parents instead. Another great twist was the identity reveal for Ultraman. It made sense how Lex knew so much and was able to enter the fortress in the first place. Ultraman is none other than a clone of Superman, which leads me to believe, is he actually Bizarro? Every character was well written and had great moments. David Corenswet as Superman really nailed the role. He played a bit of an immature, goofy Superman. We really felt all the emotions he experienced in this movie. Pain, love, loss, and hope. One moment I recall was when he flew into Luthor Corp after he found out that Krypto had gone missing and spoke to Lex. You really felt how angry he was. David portrayed that very well. Not to mention him having some aura farming moments. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois also did well to support Superman. She found it difficult to cope with how different Superman is. Their relationship was powerful and drove them both in the story. She, with the help of Jimmy Olsen, managed to figure out what Lex was planning the entire time. He wanted to create his own utopia by becoming a king of his own country. He planned the war between Barovia and Jarenpol in order to kill Superman. And also, the leader of Barovia worked for Lex. She was Superman's anchor. Nicholas Hoult as Lex shined throughout this movie. This has to be the best adaptation of Lex Luthor we have had thus far. He was strategic, maniacal, and was willing to sacrifice everything he had in order to achieve his goal to kill Superman. He formed a group of metahumans known as the Planet Watch, with Ultraman, the engineer, and his soldiers. The engineer played a significant role in locating the fortress and helping crack the message, which I talked about earlier. He even made his own pocket universe. As a result of Superman escaping his prison in his pocket universe, out of spite, he decided to create a dimensional rift from his pocket universe to the real world. It just goes to show the lengths he is willing to cross in order to get to Superman. Krypto was an amazing addition. It gave Superman someone to fight for, care for, and helped him in dire moments. In other words, he was a clutch master.
Clutch!
The Justice Gang was also a great addition. they played a vital role in helping Superman. Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern, honestly, he was a meme and was a good laugh. Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl, she was a bit more serious. She did not really want to get involved in anything, but when she did, she was iconic. Especially that one moment where she dropped the leader of Barovia to his demise. Anthony Carrigan as Metamorpho, you might recognize him as Zaz from Gotham. He later joined the Justice Gang. He was imprisoned with Superman and forced to contain Superman with kryptonite as his son was held captive. He redeemed himself as he had to witness a tragic killing of an innocent civilian at the hand of Lex in order to get to Superman. Then he decided to trust Superman to save his young son, which he eventually did. And finally, the one who arguably stole the show of the movie is Eddie Gathke as Mr. Terrific. He was super smart, composed, but completely ice cold. He had the best moment, great choreography, great music choice, and left you speechless. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Eve. Without her, Lois would not have been able to get the information on Lex, the true hidden MVP. The visuals of this movie are stunning, straight out of a comic book. Superman had great action scenes. The fight between Ultraman and Superman was visually aesthetic. The visuals of Superman himself were excellent, good use of CGI, nothing too prominent. The best action scenes, apart from that one scene we know, was when he flew into space with the Engineer and Ultraman trying to stop him. He had to think spontaneously as he had Engineer's nanites in his system. So, what does he do? He decides to fly back to Earth at such a speed to remove the nanites and incapacitate the Engineer. That scene was just so creative. So, overall, the Superman movie is a breath of fresh air, a solid addition to the DC cinematic universe. We also get some really cool references and special appearances in this movie. We see a cool cameo from Supergirl, played by Millie Alcock, who you might recognize as young Rhaenyra in House of Dragons. We find out that Krypto is actually her dog, and Superman was taking care of it while she was away. We also get a funny cameo from Peacemaker, confirming that he's also in the universe. So, do I recommend it? Yes. Let me say just this. I am also a fan of Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill's Superman, but all I ask is to give this movie a fair chance. You actually might be pleasantly surprised. I'm going to give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. That's it for this review. Let me know your thoughts about this movie in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.